everyone, Charlotte from New Zealand Shores here, just jumping in with another update. You may have all received newsletters from us which have discussed Immigration New Zealand and the government's big announcement last week about rebalancing our immigration system. It does sound quite scary and it is quite confusing. So there's just a few things I'd like to go over to hopefully clear some of that stuff up. So we have been given a massive number of documents basically, which kind of talk through this whole change and what it means in particular for, I guess, for new migrants, and that will then in turn impact our existing clients and some of our new clients. So basically the way it's looking is the whole system is being turned on its head. We have been working in what we have called a migrant-led system. So that has been the migrant gets a job offer and the application is made directly to Immigration New Zealand. So therefore the migrant has driven the visa process to date. From the 4th of July, when the new system kicks into effect, one, all employers need to be accredited to hire migrants, whether that's 1 or 100, absolutely everyone has to hold that accreditation. We see it as a good thing. It's basically been put in place to stop some of the migrant exploitation that did happen. I mean, obviously it wasn't a huge issue, but it did happen. New Zealand's not 100% immune to that, but it did predominantly affect certain industries. So for the vast majority of people, and in 8 years of doing this job, I've never had a client complain about being exploited, but it will just make sure there's added protection in there for you, which is always important, and we see it as a really good thing. As part of that accreditation and the new process, employers do have to, they still have to advertise, they still have to show, who's applied for a role and why you are the best person for the role. But as an added layer, that advertising and that employers' attempts to hire from within New Zealand go through what's called a job check. So it's another phase where we just submit everything to immigration. Through that job check, immigration will check it and say, yes, great, you're able to hire, people for these particular roles. Those job checks do last for employers for 6 months. So once they've done one for one role, they are able to keep hiring under their accreditation and that job check for 6 months. So it's not something they're going to have to do every single time for you. So please don't be worried that it's going to put employers off. We've actually had really positive feedback from employers about the accreditation and job check. Most of them see it as a good thing as well. So it's not putting people off from hiring from offshore, which is amazing. And we all in the office actually have a number of clients who are basically waiting for that new visa to open from the 4th of July. And all of those employers are either working through their accreditation with us or they're doing it themselves. So the employers in New Zealand are well across that change and well prepared for it, which is really awesome. Really important here to note that New Zealand is open to skilled workers. Some have actually already started entering now under the current border exemption for anyone earning 84,240 per annum, which is 1.5 times the median wage. And that will then open up further from the 4th of July. So skilled migrants are able to start entering New Zealand again really soon, if you haven't been able to do so already. We are open, employers are keen, they cannot wait to be able to hire from offshore again. The perfect storm has been brewing in New Zealand. We've had 2 years of really restricted borders. We have a labour shortage. Our unemployment rate is down to 3.2%. And employers have been forced to kind of do a lot of shoulder tapping to poach employees off people to be able to fill their own gaps, which hasn't actually solved the problem because there's been no new people coming in. I think New Zealand employers have kind of realised how important migrants are and that we really actually rely on you guys to be able to keep our economy going. And the government definitely has realised that too. And we've noticed that with that big announcement last week. So the whole rebalancing New Zealand's immigration system, whilst it sounds scary, will actually lead to really positive change for most people. The bit where it does get a bit confusing, admittedly, is all of these new pathways to residence. So there will still be the skilled migrant category, which has historically been, I'd say 90% of our clients would have gone through the skilled migrant category previously. So that will still be there. Initially had been indicated to resume from August, but I'm guessing it may resume from September when the 2 new categories kick off as well. So there will still be that. We are expecting that there will be some policy changes potentially, but we don't know what that will look like yet. So I guess watch this space, and as soon as we have that information, we will start sharing it with you. The two new categories, one is called a work to residence, completely different from our old work to residence category. So if you know anything about that, please just kind of let that slip out of your mind and focus on what the change is. So the new work to residence category, there's two tiers to it, I guess. For anyone who is earning double the median wage will be able to apply under that work to residence after 2 years. There is also a set list of different occupations who will be eligible for that as well. However, for the vast majority of people, we are actually assuming that they will still be eligible under the skilled migrant category as well. So whilst there is that pathway that where you can work in New Zealand for 2 years and then apply under that work to residence pathway, there's every chance that I would assume the vast majority of people would be able to apply sooner under that skilled migrant category anyway. So please don't feel like you have to wait 2 years to apply for residence. There may actually only be a small cohort of people who actually have to wait that period. The other category, which is brand new completely, it's called a fast-tracked pathway to residence, or that's what they're calling it at the moment. It may get a new name, but there is a list of about 85 occupations under that who are eligible for a fast-tracked residency. Not too different really from the people who received priority previously under the skilled migrant category and the old residence from work category, but it has been made broader, so there are more people that will be eligible for that fast-tracked residency. But once again, a lot of those people may also be eligible under the skilled migrant category. So for a lot of people who do start to enter the country after the 4th of July, what we'll be doing is we'll probably be assessing each person, assessing which category is actually the best one for them. Which category is going to get you residency fastest, because that is the ultimate goal for you and for us. We don't want you, languishing around waiting longer than you have to. So it'll be a case-by-case basis totally. And it may be that there's, 2 or 3 different options available to you, and we'll just pick out which is going to be the best for you and your family. So we are really, really keen to start chatting with more people about their options to migrate. We are seeing a lot of inquiries, which is awesome. But I think there seems to be a little bit of fear, I guess, or misunderstanding about how open New Zealand is. Which I guess, is understandable after a closed border for 2 years. But I'm here to reassure you that we are open, or will soon be open from the 4th of July for everyone. So the government is, visitors can enter, investors, business people, and skilled migrants can all start, their migration dreams again, basically from the 4th of July, if they haven't already been able to. So please reach out, please complete an eligibility assessment if you're a new client. Please get in touch, have a chat. We can advise you of what your options are, or we can at least have a chat around what it looks like your options might be from the 4th of July onwards, and which categories for residents you may fit under. There will definitely be a pathway for the majority of people. As a side note, Alan and I are travelling from New Zealand to South Africa for 3.5 weeks of consultations and seminars in Johannesburg, Durban, Port Elizabeth, and Cape Town. So we have roughly about 4 to 5 days each in each place, and we have plenty of room left for consultations. So we are really keen to meet with people. The seminars are a good way to get an overview of migrating to New Zealand and Australia. We do have MARA licensed advisors now, and there will be a MARA licensed advisor in attendance on the trip, so you'll be able to chat about Australia as well if that's your preference, or if you perhaps aren't sure about whether you are interested in Australia or New Zealand, we can get you to have a chat with our MARA licensed advisor, because she's also licensed for New Zealand as well, so she'll be able to outline all of the options available to you. Otherwise, we will have at least 3 advisors in each location, because we have, what are we up to? Three advisors based in South Africa. So there will be someone in each location to be able to have a chat. Consultation is good because it gets, I guess, down to the nitty-gritty of your personal situation, whereas the seminars are quite good for people who are kind of just dipping their toe in the water. They're not sure what the migration process looks like. They're not sure what visas they may be eligible for. But once again, it's a good way to get a lot of information, and you may find that a follow-up consultation or Zoom meeting may be advantageous to you after that seminar. So please register. We are so excited to be heading back to South Africa, and we're really keen to start meeting people. We do also have our new recruitment manager, Beth. She isn't coming on the trip, but she will be in, close liaison with us about the people we meet, as we now have about 36 employers who we're starting to work with for recruitment services. So Beth is working solely with our clients at the moment, but South Africa is a really good chance for us as well to, I guess, scope out some more people who may be of interest to those employers, and we can start putting your CVs forward, or Beth will start putting your CVs forward. So she's really, really crucial to our team now, and she will be kind of driving our recruitment and job search services to our clients. So we look forward to meeting you. Please fill out an eligibility assessment, register for a seminar or a consultation in South Africa, and I will be back chatting again soon. Have a great day, everyone.